Hello creative friends, I'm Anastasia, and in this video, my challenge is to make a fall centerpiece that looks like something you'd see at a high-end store, but is made with items from the Dollar Tree. Let's get into it. I headed to Dollar Tree and went straight to the fall florals to see what we were working with. I dug through so many stems until I found the perfect ones. These burgundy eucalyptus stems were hiding all the way in the back behind everything, and I almost didn't see them. Oh my gosh, I never thought I'd find such beautiful eucalyptus stems at Dollar Tree. I paired them with some maple leaves that I also found at Dollar Tree that are cream, and I thought the tones matched really well. They also had these red ones and these cream colored ones if you prefer those colors. I found this garden dish. It's plastic, although I wish they'd had it in glass. I also got this fishbowl vase for the bottom of our bowl. Then I grabbed this black acrylic paint and this styrofoam pumpkin as well. I will be making a faux stone pedestal bowl. This is one of my favorite types of DIYs because it's so easy to make and it looks very high-end. I'll be attaching the bowls to each other like so, using some E6000 adhesive, which provides a very strong hold. Then I'm using some hot glue, which sets quickly and will hold the bowls in place while it completely dries. Setting a heavy coaster on top so that it stays together and doesn't slide around. I'm using this spackling and nail hole filler to hide the seam between the two bowls. This is a small change that will make a big impact on your piece looking high-end and like it's all one piece. I found that putting some in my hand and rolling it into a little tube shape like this was the easiest way for me to fill every part of the gap evenly. After that dries, I'm taking that black acrylic paint and mixing it with some baking soda. You can adjust the amount of baking soda by adding more for more texture or less for less texture. Once I got mine to this consistency, I started painting it on my bowl. It may be a little hard to see here, but it was developing some clumps, and I think this mixture just wasn't able to stick very well to the slick, unprimed surface. So I decided to add some patching plaster, which I know will help it be able to stick. And I'm adding some more black paint and baking soda to even out the proportions of each. I did 2 coats of this mixture and it came out exactly as I wanted it to look. I'm doing a light sand on any rough areas. The plaster made it dry more gray, so then I went in with 2 coats of just black paint. After it was all dry, I gave it a coat of clear matte protective spray on each side. I'll be taking this cute little pumpkin and first cutting off the stem that it came with. Don't worry, because we'll be adding a much better DIY stem later. Try to get as much of it off as possible so it's nice and flat at the top. I'll be painting my pumpkin to look a bit like it's stone or plastered, so I'm taking my paint, which is some leftover Popular Gray by Sherwin-Williams, and I'm mixing it with baking soda to give it texture until it's quite thick like this. I'm balling up a paper towel to apply the mixture, but you can use a sponge if you have one. I'm just going to dab on the paint over the entire pumpkin, and sponging it on in this way is going to give it a really great texture. I gave this 2 coats overall. As I was painting, I noticed that there's a seam that goes all the way around the pumpkin, and it was very noticeable. So I'm taking this spackling and nail hole filler to fill in that gap. I'm not sanding it down because my finish will be textured anyways, and it won't be noticeable after we sponge on the second coat of paint. Now we'll be DIYing the stem. I wanted it to look curved and asymmetrical like pumpkins naturally have. Thank you to C. Whimsy on Pinterest for this twisted and curved stem technique. First, you'll need some paper. I'm using some brown packing paper. Spread on a generous layer of Mod Podge, which you can sometimes find small bottles of at Dollar Tree. Once you have a full layer of Mod Podge on your paper, you'll pick it up by the corner and start twisting it glue side out until you get to the very bottom. I wrapped mine around my finger to give it a curled shape, and I finished it off with another layer of Mod Podge. And when that dries, I'm painting it with black paint to match our bowl. Now that the pumpkin and stem are dry, I'm attaching the stem with some hot glue. Some of the glue did squish out the sides, so I went back in later and painted it black so it wasn't noticeable. And then I'm giving it a coat of matte clear protective spray. The last thing we need to do before putting it all together is to separate these stems. So I'm taking some wire cutters and cutting each one right where the stems meet. I used about 1.5 eucalyptus bundles and about 3 maple leaf bundles. Now I'm assembling them into the bowl, starting with the maple leaves. There is no specific technique I used other than eyeballing it, but I did try to make sure they were even all the way around. Next, I'm sprinkling in the eucalyptus to add those pops of burgundy. Don't be afraid to move or shift around your stems until you like the way it looks. What I love about this DIY is that you can choose not to glue anything down into the bowl. That way you can use these pieces separately in your home throughout the year. For example, I love this black pedestal bowl, and I think it would look so cute on a shelf or in my kitchen with some oranges, or maybe I'll make a video turning it into a Christmas centerpiece in a few months. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments. Now that our stems have created a little nest, I'm just going to put my pumpkin right there in the center, making some adjustments here and there. And now it's time for the final reveal. I was able to make this all with about $10 worth of Dollar Tree items. I love creating beautiful decor on a budget, and if you do too, please check out more of my videos and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any. See you next time.